You have heard it 1,000 times. Drink 8 glasses of water a day. Stay hydrated and you will stay healthy. Yet how many mornings have you woken up tired even after doing everything right? How many nights have you battled leg cramps despite sipping water all day? How many times have you looked at your skin still dry and tight and wondered why? Here is the truth very few people ever hear. After the age of 60, your body begins to change in ways that water alone cannot fix. Muscles which once held most of the water in your body start to lose their ability to keep it inside. You can drink liters every day and still remain dehydrated where it matters most, deep inside your cells. This matters because muscles are not just for moving. They are your metabolic engine, the organ of longevity. Strong muscle regulates insulin, burns fat, and supports brain health. But muscle cannot function without proper hydration. Imagine trying to run an electric car without a charged battery. The structure is there, but the power is missing. That is what happens when your body has water but lacks the minerals to pull it into muscle cells. Hydration is not only about water. It is a story about minerals. Sodium, potassium, magnesium, and dozens of trace elements are the silent partners that carry water across the cell wall. Without them, water flows through you like rain on dry ground, never soaking in. That is why you can drink glass after glass and still feel weak, stiff, or foggy. The impact goes far beyond comfort. Poor hydration at the cellular level slows recovery, reduces energy, shrinks muscle mass, and places extra strain on your heart, kidneys, and joints. Over time, it chips away at independence, balance, and confidence. This is why ordinary hydration advice falls short after 60. The good news is that the solution is not complicated. You do not need expensive supplements or extreme routines. You need to hydrate smarter, not just more. By learning how to deliver water into your muscle cells, you can restore energy, protect your metabolism, and rebuild strength. This begins with understanding the deeper story of hydration, a story that could change the way you drink your very next glass of water. Weakness does not appear suddenly. It grows slowly, in ways that are easy to overlook. You may notice your joints feel stiff even after stretching. You may find yourself stopping halfway through a walk that once felt effortless. You may drink water faithfully throughout the day, yet fatigue lingers and cramps keep showing up at night. This is not simply aging. It is a deeper challenge hidden in how the body handles water after 60. Muscle tissue is like a living reservoir. In youth, it holds up to 75% water, fueling movement, recovery, and energy. But as the decades pass, the body becomes less efficient at keeping that water inside the muscle cells. Imagine a sponge that once soaked up water easily, but now lets it drip through no matter how much you pour. That is what happens in aging muscles. They lose the ability to trap and hold hydration where it matters. Why does this decline matter so much? Because muscles are more than strength. They are the command center of metabolism. They help regulate insulin, stabilize blood sugar, and even influence brain health. When muscles are poorly hydrated, they cannot perform these critical functions. Recovery slows, energy drops, and the risk of losing independence rises. The common advice to drink 8 glasses of water a day ignores this truth. It assumes hydration is about volume alone. But true hydration is not measured by how much you drink. It is measured by how much water actually reaches and stays in your cells. Without the right minerals, water remains outside the cell wall and is quickly flushed away. The bladder fills, but the muscles stay thirsty. This is why older adults often face symptoms of dehydration even when they drink diligently. Dry skin, dizziness, restless legs, and night cramps are all signs that the water is not reaching its destination. At the same time, essential organs like the heart and kidneys carry extra stress because they must work harder to balance fluid levels. Several factors make this worse after 60. Medications such as diuretics or acid blockers interfere with mineral absorption. Low stomach acid reduces the ability to extract electrolytes from food. Insulin resistance disrupts the movement of potassium and sodium into cells. These silent shifts combine to create a body that looks hydrated on the outside, but is running dry on the inside. The real solution is to change perspective. Hydration after 60 is not about forcing in more water. It is about equipping the body to use water effectively. That means restoring the minerals that pull water into the cell, supporting digestion to absorb them, and addressing the signals that keep muscles alive with fluid. Once you understand this, you realize that a glass of water can either pass through unnoticed or become fuel for energy and strength. The difference lies in what you add to it and how you prepare your body to receive it. When most people think of hydration, they think only of water. But water alone is like a guest without a key. It arrives, but it cannot enter the house. Minerals are the keys that unlock the door to your muscle cells, pulling water inside where it can make a difference. Without them, hydration remains incomplete, and the body is left thirsty at the very place it needs nourishment most. The first key is sodium. For decades, sodium has been seen as the enemy, blamed for high blood pressure and heart disease. Many older adults have been told to cut salt almost completely. Yet sodium is not only about blood pressure. It is the main mineral that allows water to cross into the cell through osmosis. Imagine your muscle cell as a small balloon. Without sodium, the balloon deflates, no matter how much water you pour around it. With sodium, the balloon fills and stays strong. Drinking water without sodium is like filling a bathtub with no stopper. The water flows in and flows right out. The second key is potassium. Every time you move, lift, or even stand up, your nervous system sends an electrical signal to your muscles. That signal is powered by potassium. Potassium not only contracts muscles but also keeps water locked inside the fibers. Without enough potassium, you may feel shaky or weak even when you are well fed. Potassium deficiency is widespread. Almost every older adult falls short of the recommended intake, which explains why cramps, weakness, and fatigue are so common. The third key is magnesium. If potassium is the spark that contracts the muscle, magnesium is the calm that allows it to relax. Without magnesium, muscles remain tense, leading to cramps, spasms, or restless legs at night. Magnesium also plays a role in moving water into the cell and stabilizing the balance of other electrolytes. Deficiency is rampant, especially in those taking diuretics or acid-blocking medications. Together, sodium, potassium, and magnesium form the triangle of hydration. Sodium pulls water in, potassium holds it there, magnesium keeps the system balanced. Without this triangle, hydration collapses. The body may still function, but it does so at a cost. Muscles weaken, recovery slows, energy fades, and aging accelerates. Protein is often celebrated as the building block of muscle. That is true. But without electrolytes, protein is wasted. Think of protein as the frame and wheels of an electric car. They provide structure. But potassium and magnesium are the battery and wiring. They allow the car to move. Without them, you have a shell that looks complete but cannot function. This is the deeper truth of hydration after 60. It is not about filling the glass. It is about empowering the body to use what is inside it. Water is the resource, but minerals are the force that directs it to the places that matter. Once you restore the right minerals, every sip of water transforms from a passing liquid into fuel for strength, resilience, and longevity. Most people know insulin as the hormone that regulates blood sugar. Few realize that insulin is also a gatekeeper of hydration. It decides how sodium and potassium move in and out of cells. Without insulin working properly, water cannot follow those minerals, and the muscle cell slowly deflates like a balloon losing air. When insulin is healthy, it does more than balance glucose. It signals the kidneys to hold sodium, it pushes potassium into the muscle, and it allows water to flow with it. The result is a cell that stays full, firm, and functional. Movement feels steady, strength feels available, and recovery feels natural. But after 60, insulin resistance becomes common. This is when the pump no longer works. Potassium remains outside the cell, sodium is wasted, and water fails to enter. The body looks puffy in the wrong places while the muscles themselves are dry. Ankles swell, faces hold fluid, bellies feel heavy, yet muscle fibers stay dehydrated and weak. You may drink more water, but without insulin doing its job, hydration slips away. The consequences go far beyond thirst. Dehydrated muscles cannot contract properly. They fatigue quickly and lose their ability to regulate blood sugar, creating a vicious cycle where weakness leads to more insulin resistance. Over half of adults past 60 live in this cycle without realizing it. They blame aging, but the truth is their cells are starved of minerals and water. The solution is to restore insulin sensitivity. It begins with simple changes. Reducing refined sugars and processed carbohydrates lowers the constant demand on insulin. Adding apple cider vinegar or lemon water before meals improves how the body handles both glucose and minerals. Small actions like walking after eating or practicing light resistance exercise also make cells more receptive again. When insulin works, hydration works. When hydration works, muscles regain their strength, balance improves, and energy flows. The key is not only how much water you drink, but how well your body can guide it inside the cells. Insulin is part of that guidance system, and giving it the support it needs can transform the way you feel every single day. Hydration is not only about what you drink, it is about what your body can absorb. After 60, one of the most overlooked shifts is the natural decline in stomach acid. Hydrochloric acid in the stomach is not just for breaking down food. It is the gatekeeper that unlocks minerals like magnesium, calcium, and potassium so they can enter the bloodstream and eventually reach your muscle cells. When acid levels drop, the gate begins to close. You may eat foods rich in minerals or add electrolytes to your water, but much of it passes through unused. This silent barrier means your muscles remain dehydrated even while you believe you are doing the right things. The problem grows worse for those taking acid-blocking medications for reflux, which further suppress acid production. Low stomach acid has a second consequence. It weakens protein digestion. Without strong acid, proteins are not broken down into the amino acids your muscles need for repair. Over time, this leads to faster muscle loss, slower recovery, and greater weakness. The body is not just lacking water, it is lacking the building blocks to hold that water. The good news is that this gate can be gently reopened. Simple practices like adding a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar or fresh lemon juice diluted in water before meals can stimulate acid production. These natural acids provide just enough spark to improve mineral absorption and digestion. Chewing food slowly and avoiding constant snacking also help the stomach rebuild its natural rhythm. Think of your stomach as the first checkpoint of hydration. If it fails, the rest of the journey collapses. But when it works, every sip and every bite count more. Water infused with minerals can reach the cells. Protein can be converted into strong fibers. Muscles regain both structure and fluidity. Hydration is not a straight line from glass to cell. It is a journey with multiple gates, and stomach acid is one of the most crucial. Support this gatekeeper, and you give your body the chance to turn ordinary water into true cellular hydration, fueling the muscles that keep you steady, mobile, and independent. For years, the message has been simple. Drink 8 glasses of water every day. Many people treat this as a law of health, believing that more water automatically means better hydration. But the body does not work in such a mechanical way. Hydration is not measured by volume alone. It is measured by how much water reaches and stays in your cells. The truth is that water needs vary from person to person. They depend on activity level, climate, diet, and medications. Someone living in a humid region with little exercise needs less than someone who spends hours in the sun or engages in regular movement. Adding to this, much of our daily water comes from foods like fruits and vegetables, which are naturally rich in fluids and minerals. A more accurate way to track hydration is not by counting glasses, but by observing your body. One simple marker is the color of urine. Pale yellow means hydration is balanced. Darker tones signal a need for more fluids. Clear urine may even suggest overhydration, where too much plain water has diluted the minerals your cells need. After 60, the old rule becomes even less reliable because absorption and mineral balance matter more than raw intake. 8 glasses of plain water may sound safe, but if it dilutes sodium and potassium, muscles may actually weaken. The smarter goal is not to drink more, but to drink better. That means pairing water with minerals, timing it around meals, and listening to the signals of your own body. Hydration is personal, dynamic, and far more nuanced than a single number. When you let go of rigid rules and focus on cellular hydration, every sip becomes more powerful. After a full night of sleep, the body wakes up in a state of quiet depletion. 8 to 10 hours without food or drink mean not only water loss, but mineral loss as well. Each breath during the night carries away moisture. Sweat removes electrolytes. By morning, the muscles are running low on the very elements they need to stay full and strong. This is why the first glass of the day is the most important. Many people wake and immediately gulp plain water. It feels refreshing, but without minerals, it can dilute electrolytes even further. The bladder fills, yet the muscles stay thirsty. The smarter approach is to prime the system, giving the body what it needs to actually pull water into the cells. The morning hydration protocol is simple. Start with a large glass of filtered water, around 16 to 20 ounces. Into that add 1/4 teaspoon of unrefined sea salt, either Celtic or Himalayan, which provides sodium and trace minerals. Squeeze in fresh lemon juice or add a teaspoon of apple cider vinegar. This gives a mild acid that helps the stomach absorb minerals and supports digestion. If safe for you, add a small pinch of potassium chloride or potassium citrate, about 1/8 of a teaspoon. Stir well and sip slowly over 10 to 20 minutes. This small ritual does more than quench thirst. It restores the mineral spark that allows muscles to hydrate at the cellular level. Sodium pulls water in. Potassium locks it there. The mild acids wake the stomach and improve absorption. The result is a body that feels more alert, a mind that feels clearer, joints that feel less stiff, and muscles that feel alive again. Consistency is the secret. Do this every morning, and within a week, many people notice fewer cramps, steadier energy, and smoother digestion. It is not a supplement, not a pill, not a workout. It is a glass of water, prepared with intention, transforming hydration from a passive act into an active choice for strength and longevity. True hydration is not about filling glasses, it is about filling life with energy and freedom. Muscles are the currency of longevity, and water is their lifeblood. But after 60, water alone cannot do the job. The body needs minerals, it needs absorption, it needs guidance. Once you understand this, you see that every sip carries the potential to change how you move, how you think, and how you live. The message is simple. Stop thinking of water as a number to reach and start seeing it as a system to support. Sodium, potassium, magnesium, insulin sensitivity, and stomach acid all work together like gears in a machine. When one is missing, the whole system slows. But when each is supported, the machine runs with smooth power. Muscles stay hydrated, energy remains steady, and independence is protected. It is never too late to begin. One glass in the morning with intention. One choice to add minerals instead of stripping them away. One shift in how you see hydration. Over weeks, these small decisions create a stronger body, sharper mind, and a future where you can keep walking with confidence. If you want more practical tools like this, habits explained simply, and science turned into action, I invite you to join me on my channel daily, 1% Impact. Subscribe today, because resilience is not built in one leap. It is built one sip, one choice, 1% at a time.